All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday afternoon or evening, depending on where you're at. I'm going to see if I can bring this up on my screen over here. Let's see. There we go. Close. Okay, cool. I am crooked. Let's see if I can straighten myself out here. I seem to keep moving my thing so that I'm crooked, but I can't tell which direction to move my arm here. Let's see if I can get this to be straight. All right, that looks good. All right, well, oops, nope, now I'm crooked again. It was very slow on my tablet here, so let's see if I can fix this before we get going. It's quite delayed. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, so paper pumpkin. I'm going to bring this up a little bit because I think it's actually kind of hard to see with all the lights that I have in my room. So this is the paper pumpkin for March 2025. It's called Daisy Daydreams. And I don't know if you can see that or not. Really pretty box. No, I do not keep the boxes. As pretty as they are, I do not have a lot of reasons to keep the boxes. And so, even though I love the artwork and everything on them, I don't tend to keep them. So I've taken the packaging off, and we're going to go through and see what's in here. And I have some ideas in my head because I've seen some unboxings already, and I know some of the things that are in here. But to start with, this is a special one because it is the anniversary of Paper Pumpkin. And so in this box, we have a Lost Lagoon stamp and spot. So that's the color. And then we actually have two stamps that are part of this paper pumpkin. So we have this really large honeycomb stamp. We've got a daisy flower. And then this one has happy birthday and hello as sentiments that are on that. Hopefully this is coming through okay and people can see that. So again, a really usable stamp, extra stamp set. Really like that one. And then this one has a very large bee. It has, again, a smaller honeycomb. It has a smaller bee body and wings that go with it. And then the sentiments on this are, thank you for always being there for me. Wishing you brighter days ahead. Enjoy your special day. Thank you. And sweetest birthday wishes. So also very usable sentiments. This, for me, this is probably the best sentiment pack for Paper Pumpkin that has come through because I tend to only do thank you and birthday cards. And so for me, having a lot of different thank you and birthday sentiments is really, really good. All right, so we have our tissue paper like we always have. We're just going to pull this out. And we're going to see what is in this kit. And we're going to make up some cards, but I am going to do something, I think, a little different with one of them based off of what I saw in previews. So, again, this is the kit itself. We're going to go ahead and open this up and take a look at all of the goodies inside of it. Super excited. Hopefully some people got this one. I have to say, for me, I do like the idea of getting Paper Pumpkin. Makes it simple to make cards, which is not my specialty. And I do think that Stampin' Up! Has some really beautiful high-end card designs, which I really like. It makes it much easier for me who's a card making is not my specialty. So I do like that on this. And daisies happen to be one of my favorite flowers. So this card kit for me is like stellar. I just absolutely love it. And I have some ideas for a scrapbooking layout with it. Okay, so we have our adhesives in the bag here, and these are the standard adhesive dots. It looks like we've got some of the dimensionals, and then we've got some line adhesives for this. And then we have our envelopes, and so there's 3 different envelope styles. Really, for me, I almost think that these envelopes, as beautiful as they are, I really want to use them, I think, on a layout versus sending them off in the mail. Personally, that's kind of my thought. So, okay, so envelopes we can set aside because we're not going to use those right now. And then we have our card bases. So there's 3 of the daisy and honeycomb base. We have some vellum here for, I'm not exactly sure what yet, but we've got some vellum. We've got some solid blue card bases, so 3 of those. And then we have an overlay that's going to be used on this 3rd card, which is really sort of a wash across it. It's almost like a dry brush across a white card is what that one looks like. So those are our 3 bases. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull out all the pieces for each one of these cards here off to the side, and then we'll set the other card bases over on the other side. And we're going to go ahead and go through the rest of these and see what other goodies are here. Okay, so I think the vellum goes with this card. Okay, so we have some honeycomb pieces here. We have, again, some die punch outs, circles, and then we have a number of, that one fell out. We have 2 sheets of die cuts of the daisies with the bees. Actually, it looks like 3 sheets of that die cut. So 3 sheets of these daisies and bees, and they're already popping out. They pop out very easily, so they're already starting to pop out, so we have to be careful. And then we have sentiment spots. So let's kind of organize this. Oops, I don't want to lose any of these pieces. I think I just lost a piece on my floor. I'm going to have to find that. I'm not seeing it right away. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the pieces out for each one of these cards so that I can keep myself somewhat organized. Okay, so the blue card is number 1, and that's going to use these daisies here. So this long set of daisies, we need 2 of those. And we need a sentiment, one of the sentiment pieces. So we're just going to take this apart. Again, I'm hoping I don't lose any of these because I do think they're absolutely gorgeous, but they're delicate too. So have to be a little bit careful. Okay, we need 2 of the goldish style honeycombs here. They have a goldish, it's shiny. So it's not, I don't know that it's metallic paper, but it's got like a metallic print on top of it. So we need 2 of those. We're going to have the stamp, and then we need the sentiment pieces here. So let's grab that guy. And we're going to try and not make too much of a mess, but keep ourselves somewhat organized. So one of the sentiment pieces. So that's going to be for that one. So I think this goes with that. Okay, so card number 2 is this card with this punch out circle. So we've got that. And we need one of these green circles, green and yellow circles. So we're going to pull that one out. And then we need another one of these sentiment pieces there. Okay, so I think, and then we need one of the bees. So we'll pull out one of those bees. Okay, so those are, and then we've got some stamping that we need to do. And then the last card is the daisy card. And this needs, I don't know what this is for. I'm not seeing this on any of the samples here. So we'll set that aside. I'm not sure what that vellum is for because I'm not seeing it on the instructions here. Okay, so we need a bunch of these daisy flowers. So we need a full daisy, one of these half daisies. We need a full daisy. We need 3 full daisies. Don't know that we need this one. Okay, so we need this daisy. And then we need another one of these. Okay, so let's see. Do we have the pieces that we need here? Nope, we're missing one. I think this is the other one we need. Yes, that looks right. Okay, so those are the daisies that we need. And again, we need some of these honeycomb pieces here. Okay, and then we need the sentiment. This one, that's the more rectangular one. And I think that's it. Okay, so I think the rest of this we can just set aside for right now and hopefully not lose anything. All right, so, and then obviously we have our 2 pieces for the stamp sets that we can put away. All right, so with all of the paper pumpkin or card kits that you get, again, we have picture instructions on how to put everything together. I'm going to sort of follow it. I'm going to see, I might deviate a little bit in some places, but we will kind of take a look at the instructions and do some of the things that it says. So we're going to start with some stamping. So we're going to fold our card, and the idea of this one is it's going to be a vertical. So we're going to fold our card, and we're going to try and keep it even at the end here, and use our bone folder just to give it a nice crease. Okay, and then we're going to take our ink spot. I don't actually have this color in my collection as of yet, so we are going to use this ink spot. Normally, if I have that color, I'm going to use the big ink pad because I find it a little bit easier to use. But in this case, I am going to just use the Stampin' Spot, but it's not wanting to cut open. Okay. If you're joining me, do you have this kit? Did you sign up for Paper Pumpkin, and are you getting this kit? Mine just arrived today, so gosh, this is really not behaving here for me. So it's always fun to get something in the mail. Knowing that it's coming, but not knowing all the details about it also are kind of fun, even though we do get a preview usually before mine arrives. I don't know if it's just my location or what, but I tend to be on the tail end of the delivery of the Paper Pumpkin. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take our sentiment, and we are going to enjoy your special day. So I'm not sure that I'm going to use that one. I think I might use Sweetest Birthday Wishes. I think that's the one I'm going to use on this one. Now, enjoy your special day. Again, could work really well, and maybe I'll do that on another card. I'll probably make up 2 cards from this and then use the 3rd set from this to make up a scrapbook page. Okay, so I'm going to take my ink spot, and with the ink spots I do find it a lot easier to go from the ink spot onto my stamp versus the other way around. And I'm actually going to grab a piece of paper, because I also find with the ink spots, I need to like season up the stamp because it gets a little bit blotchy, and I don't like that. So by stamping it a couple of times, the type of pad that the ink spots are made out of is different than the pad that is on the regular stamp pads. And so this just really helps in some ways to get a better stamp by doing a few times on a piece of paper, and that helps season it up. It's getting a little bit better. Let's try one more before we do the stamp. Another way that you can season it is to rub the stamp itself on your skin, and that also does help. All right, that's getting a little bit better. Okay, I think we're good. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. And stamp that right in the middle. All right, there we go. Put the lid on that so I don't accidentally get my hand stuck in it. All right, so birthday wishes, that's done. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this honeycomb and we're going to stamp on the card base itself. So as I said, the other way that you can season up these polymer stamps is just by rubbing it on your skin. And again, that takes off any of the coating that is on the polymer and allows the ink to stick to it a little bit better. So again, we're going to ink this up. And it looks like we've got a stamp up here, and then one right next to it. So, and then one down below. Like that. And then a couple more over on the other side. And they've rotated the stamp over on this side to be slightly more up and down, more straight across, I guess. Better to say it like that. And then another one down here. All right, super, super simple. Again. Okay, so now there's assembly. And so they're starting with the sentiment, and I actually think I'm going to pop this up. So this is where I tend to make some design decisions that they don't necessarily say on the instructions. So the instructions are essentially saying put it down flat, but I think sentiments need to be raised up in order to stand out. I like the shadow and the dimension, so I am going to raise it up. And since it's my card, I get to do that. Okay, now we're going to add in our other pieces. And again, these do look like they're using the dimensionals on these. And then they've got the, am I missing one? Oh, there it is. I think this is the one. And then we've got the honeycombs that are going to sit behind it. So what they've kind of said is they've put the honeycomb kind of stand behind opposite corners of these flower clusters here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the dimensionals on these first. And then we can add the honeycomb on top of it. And I feel like I need another dimensional here on that. There we go. Okay. All right, so I'm going to just flip these over to determine. Okay, so on this side is going to get a honeycomb. So I just took the backing off of one of those dimensionals. And I'm going to stick that down. And then this one is going to go like that. And so I'm going to have a honeycomb on this side. Like so. Oops, sticking to myself. Okay. All right. And then we can stick these down. And then we just have the bee. And this card is done. Again, quick and easy, something you can take on the go. Really simple to make these, because there is not, oh, I think I need to move this guy because it's not in the right spot. So if I look at that, I need this to be more down here, like so. Yeah, still not quite right. Let's see if that looks better. There we go. You know, because all the pieces come in it, you don't have to carry anything with you. If you want to add other things to it, obviously you can, which is what I think we're going to do on card number 2. So there we go. I want that up just a smidge higher so that my sentiment shows a bit better. Okay, so there's that. And then we need the bee. Did I lose a bee? Okay, we'll grab this bee and we'll find another bee if we need it. Okay, so this is supposed to sit on top of this flower, and so we're just going to put a little bit of adhesive on there, and the bee will sit right on top of that flower. And that card is done. Now, obviously, there's lots of things that you can do with this to jazz it up. In fact, if I had thought about it, I probably would have put another honeycomb up here just to balance it. But again, really, really cute. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, so card number 2 is the one that really interested me because of the way that they put it together. I thought, you know what? I've got a great idea. So I am going to, I didn't grab it before I came over. I'm going to grab this. So I have some foam shaker insert acetates that I want to use on this card as we put this second card together. And the reason is that I think this is going to make a great shaker card. So in this case, oops, we're missing one of the pieces I did not pop out, which was the flower. So this flower is also part of this one. So I need to pop that guy out. This is delicate, so I want to be gentle with it. There we go. Okay, I don't need that one, I don't think. Okay. All right, so again, all the instructions. We've got the sentiment, which is thank you for always being there for me. So that's the sentiment. Oh, this is where they've got that piece of vellum. So we'll pull that out too. So we need the vellum as well on this one. Okay, and just seeing if there's anything else that I'm missing. Okay, so that all looks good. Okay, so we're going to just set these pieces aside for the moment. All right, and we don't need this inner circle, so we're going to take that off as well. And the sentiment. Okay, so we'll stamp the sentiment first. And let's see, which sentiment do I want to use? Thank you for always being there for me. No, I don't like that one. I think I'm going to just do happy birthday on this one. I think that's what I'm going to use. So we're going to take off the other sentiment. put that back on our carrier sheet. Yes, I probably should have cleaned it, but that's okay. I'll clean it when I make the next set of cards. Okay, so again, I'm going to season up this stamp just so that I can get a really nice impression. And we're going to ink this up. I don't think I got enough ink on the end over here. There we go. All right, so again, when you season it, you don't get all of those gaps in the words, which I don't like. So I do recommend seasoning, especially if you're using the Stampin' Spot, because the Stampin' Spot is a different pad type. It's a felt pad type, and so it is it works differently with the stamps than the standard pads that are in the big cases. So that's why I recommend that you season your stamp before you stamp it. Okay, so the next thing is it's telling us that we need to create, using the strips, these strips, that we're going to raise up this panel piece. And this is where I thought, you know what? This might be a great opportunity to make a shaker. And so that is my thought. My thought is that I want to turn this into a shaker. So I do have some small pieces of acetate that I had left over, and I am going to use those to create this shaker. So with the acetate that I have, there is a film on it. So I want to go ahead and peel that film off. And then I just want to make sure that it's the right size. And this looks like this is a perfect size for this piece. So I'm going to add some adhesive. And you can add, if you want a heavier adhesive, you can use the tear and tape. But for me, I'm going to just use my standard adhesive there. Okay, then the next thing I need to do is I need to add in my strips. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to frame this out. Okay, I'm going to frame this out, and then I'll add some additional foam adhesive around the edges so that I can make sure that it pops off of the card. But I need to contain my pieces that are going to go into my shaker card. Now make sure your adhesive isn't going to show on the shaker card on the circle here, so you have to just make sure that you're on the outside. And this is a really narrow section, so I'm going to have to cut this in half, I think, in order for this to work. So I'm going to just take my scissors and cut this in half. Ah, my non-stick scissors are sticking. Okay, a little bit more right there. Okay. And I want to use the factory edge here, not the edge that I cut. All right. Pull this down just a smidge. Again, I want to make sure that I'm not going to see that adhesive on the other side, and that looks like that's a good size. So put that back here. Okay, so now that I have this down, I can add whatever kinds of sequins or things that I have. So I have a bunch of leftover sequins from Close to My Heart, and I'm not sure what color I want to use. So I've got these gold ones, which I thought might work best with this card. So these are just gold sequins that that were close to my leftover from my close to my heart days. And you want to put enough in, but not too much, because you want it to be able to, you know, shake around. You want to have it be able to move around. And I'm going to fold our card in half here to get this prepped. Okay. And we do need to add a little bit more adhesive strips here to the bottom. And I think to the side as well. I think we should add one more over here, just so that it's got some stability on the sides here. Okay, and then we have the green circle. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm actually going to add some adhesive here. And let's see. I think I'm gonna assemble this a little bit differently. I'm gonna put the sequins back in. Try not to make too much of a mess on my table. Oh, I should probably put use the anti-static pouch. I forgot to do that. Let's do that too. If you use an anti-static pouch on this acetate, then the sequins won't stick to it. So that's a really good tip for this, is just running your anti-static pouch around the adhesive or the acetate before you take off the adhesive to put it down, because in that way it's less likely to stick. Okay, I want to line this up somewhat before I do any sort of fit, so that this is semi in the center. And I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so I put adhesive on the back, and then I lined it up with the hole, and then I pushed down, so that way that is in the right spot. So hopefully that helps if you're struggling to get this centered. Okay, so now we can add our shaker element in. Do a few more there. Okay. All right. Now comes the tricky part. So we're going to peel off our adhesive backers, trying to keep all those sequins kind of in the middle there. And then I'm going to take this, and I am going to do my best to get this centered. This is the hard part on this one. All right. Pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I did a pretty good job of getting that piece centered. And then we've got our elements. And again, because I use the anti-static pouch, the sequence isn't sticking to the acetate. All right, so then our next step is that we need to put our flower on, and this is going to be up on dimensionals. So we're going to grab a couple of dimensionals here. Put those on, and like that. And then we'll put our bee on as well. Yeah, I seem to have lost a bee. So, okay, so we want to have flower right about there. There we go. And then we'll grab another bee. These bees are so cute. They are so detailed. I don't know if you can tell that, but they are so detailed. The wings even have lines in them. I mean, they're unbelievably detailed. Okay, so this I'm also going to put up on a dimensional. So I'm going to do that right about there. And then we have our two pieces, our vellum and our birthday. So the birthday gets some dimensionals. Oops, one of my lights went out. Let's see if we can get that one back on. These lights don't hold their charge for very long anymore. And then we're going to put a little bit of adhesive, and because we're going to overlap this, we want the adhesive on the vellum at the top, because otherwise it will show through. So we're just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the vellum, and we are going to put that down first, and then we'll layer up our sentiment on top of that. Let's see, let's move this over just a smidge. I didn't push it down too hard, so I should be able to pull it up. Okay. Just like that. And now we've added a shaker element. Did it need it? Probably not. I mean, it's an interesting card all by itself, but it was just such a perfect circle and element that I thought it would be fun to add it. And since I do have extra sequins and things, you know, I've got clear gems that could have worked, or I had these lagoon gems that were left over from my Close to My Heart days. I thought, why not just use them? So anyway, that was my thought process for this guy. Anyway, I think that's fun. Okay, that's card number 2. All right, card number 3. Sorry, keep losing my lights here. Card number 3 is the Daisy card. Yeah, this one just does not want to stay lit. That's really weird. It's all plugged in and everything, but it's not charging anymore, I guess. I don't know if it's a problem with my charger or something else, but I think we're going to have to do without it. Okay, so card number 3. These are going together pretty fast. Okay, so let's take all of our pieces off here. So all of our daisy pieces, just like that. And this one has Sweetest Birthday Wishes as the sentiment. I think we'll just stick with the happy, you know what? I do like the Sweetest Birthday. Let's go ahead and switch that out. We'll go back to that one, because I do like that one too. So we will put that back on our stamp block and ink this guy up. So, great. Okay. And then we have all of our pieces. We are going to need another B because I somehow lost it. Okay, so this one, again, this card could easily be taken apart and have the back side, this side, be used for another card or used for some sort of background and something. So you don't necessarily have to keep the card. You could put this panel on top of a standard base or even a colored base if you wanted to. All right, so we are going to grab all of our flowers here and we're going to add dimensionals on top of those. So all of these get some dimensionals here. And just sort of, I'm looking at the, oops, I think that one's going to show. Let's take that one off. Let's fix that. We don't want to see the dimensionals when we're looking at the card. Okay, there we go, one there. hopefully I got all the right pieces here. Okay. All right. And then we're going to layer on, same as what we did with the other honeycomb pieces, we're going to layer those on top of some of these as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just see, I'm going to try and match these flowers up, just to make sure I've got the right ones, because I didn't do that. But that looks like that one. This looks like this one. Here, here, here. Okay. That one. Okay, it looks like I'm missing a flower. So let's go back and let's see if I can find that one. I think it's this one right here. Yeah, it's that one right there. Okay. Glad I checked. All right. And then the honeycombs are going to go on this one and on this one down here. So we're going to go ahead and put those on just like we did before. Just make sure that that was in the right spot. I don't think it is. Okay, whoops. So we want it to head down this way, like that. Okay, so we'll put this one down. Oops. I want to try and keep it lined up with the flower that's underneath it. And then we'll do this guy. Kind of like this idea of having the print underneath it and then the flower sitting on top, this dimensional look, but giving it a shadow, but the shadow is the flower underneath it. It's kind of fun. And again, very, very little stamping on this, just really mostly the sentiments. All right, so this is the last guy. And again, we want, it's going to go like that. Let's do it like that. Oops. Okay. All good there. And then we're going to take our sentiment, and that's going to, this is going to be flat because this is going to sit in between those flowers. So it's going to slide in. Probably should have done that first, but that's okay. And we want to see the sentiment. We want to see the words. So you kind of have to place it accordingly so that you can see it. And then we need a bee. All right, so then we've got our bee, and that's going to go down here. And again, they have it laying on top of the flower, like so. And there is the third card. So let me pull in the other two just to look at it, and we have completed the 3 cards in this kit. So card number 1, move everything out of the way so you can actually enjoy seeing everything. So card 1, card 2, and card 3. And again, the one that we I changed up is this one, and I created a shaker window with it, just using some acetate that I had in my stash as something a little bit different. So hopefully that was a fun little afternoon thing to put these cards together. I am looking forward to playing around with the rest of this kit, because I do think, especially if you have, what is it, Cheerful Daisies. Sorry, I'm heading over to my thing. Cheerful Daisies and this are going to go really good together. So I think I'm going to lean into this daisy and the bee the bee option on a layout. And I also have the dies that are the extra. If you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can get the quarterly dies, and they're coordinate with the 3 months of Paper Pumpkin. So July, wishful thinking, January, February, March. And this is the March dies. So you get a bee and you get a honeycomb. That is part of that you can also use. So I think I'm going to try and incorporate those into a scrapbook page as part of my design. All right. So let me know if you have any questions. Again, this is the March 2025 Paper Pumpkin. And I have to say, it's definitely, in the almost year that I've been getting Paper Pumpkin, this is one of my favorites. There was one other that I really liked, but this one, because I love daisies, I think is my absolute favorite. So hopefully you had some fun, and look for my video on using this for a scrapbook page in the future. Thanks everyone. Have a great evening.